We have built the most precise instruments in human history, giant arrays of glass and metal designed to look out into the dark and confidently map the laws of physics. But every once in a while, these highly calibrated machines point at the sky and record something that should not exist according to every rule we know. Hundreds of experts have audited these results for software glitches or sensor errors, only to confirm the same verified, peer-reviewed impossibility. We're going to track 5 of these moments, zooming from the ancient horizon of the observable universe all the way down into the windows of your own home. This map shows the cosmic microwave background. It is ancient light from 380,000 years after the Big Bang, essentially a baby photo of the universe. It is supposed to look random, scattered, and uniform in every direction. It doesn't. When scientists split this ancient light into sections, they found hot and cold patches lining up perfectly along a single plane across the sky. Even stranger, this alignment roughly matches the flat plane of our own solar system. Light from 12 billion years ago has absolutely no reason to care where our planets are sitting today. There is also a massive cold spot sitting in that exact same region. For years, astronomers thought it was caused by a supervoid, an enormous empty patch of space sitting between us and the light. They even found a genuine void exactly where it should be. But when they tested how that void bent light through gravity, the math failed. The void simply lacks the gravitational footprint required to prove it is big enough to cause the cold spot. At the largest conceivable scale, the universe appears structurally biased in a way that completely defies our standard model of astrophysics. Zooming much closer to home, we hit the scale of individual galaxies. We can easily measure how fast these massive structures are spinning, and we can count the visible matter inside them, the glowing stars, planets, gas, and dust. This graph charts rotation speed against visible mass. When you run those numbers, the math collapses. Galaxies are spinning so fast that the gravity generated by all that visible matter is nowhere near enough to hold them together. By every known rule of physics, they should instantly fly apart. They aren't flying apart. To explain why, physicists propose that something else is holding everything in place. They call it dark matter. It is a massive substance that gives off no light and absorbs no light. We have never directly detected a single particle of it. Yet the math suggests this unseen substance, along with dark energy, makes up roughly 68% of everything that exists. Stepping inside our own solar neighborhood, we have spent decades using giant receivers to listen for signals from the surrounding stars. On August 15, 1977, the Big Ear telescope in Ohio heard something. For 72 seconds, it picked up a sharp radio burst, 30 times louder than the background noise of space. It sat exactly on the frequency of hydrogen, which is the universal standard scientists predicted an alien civilization would use to communicate. Researchers listened to that exact same spot for the next 40 years and heard absolute silence. They eventually ruled out passing comets, because a comet signal would spread across a wide area of the sky, rather than cutting on and off sharply like this one did. Then, newly analyzed data provided a strong lead. Scientists combing through old records from the giant Arecibo telescope found smaller, identical bursts. Their theory is that a violent, dead magnetic star briefly fired a beam of energy into a cold cloud of hydrogen gas, making it suddenly shine in radio waves. It is a solid, natural explanation, but the researchers themselves admit it is only a hypothesis. We still lack concrete proof for what actually lit up the sky that night. Landing directly on the Earth's frozen surface, we finally arrive in Antarctica. In 2006 and 2014, scientists flew a giant radio antenna called Anita high above the ice. Its job was to watch for tiny, high-energy particles raining down from space. But twice, the antenna detected a signal coming from below the horizon. The data indicated a particle had somehow punched its way up through 7,000 kilometers of solid rock, surviving a trip straight through the Earth. No known particle can survive a journey like that. It should have been absorbed and destroyed almost instantly. Exhaustive follow-up searches and tests ruled out a simple equipment error, leaving physicists at a total loss. This anomaly breaks the standard model of particle physics so severely that one recent paper suggested it was an echo from a time-reversed mirror universe made of antimatter, sitting just on the other side of the Big Bang. We don't even have to look to the cosmos or the frozen expanses of Antarctica to find these impossibilities. We can just look at a window frame in your living room. When normal liquids cool down into solids, like water freezing into ice, their molecules behave predictably. They slow down and lock into a neat, orderly, repeating structural pattern. Glass refuses to do that. As it cools, the molecules get thicker and stiffer, but they never lock into a tidy pattern. They just freeze in place, messy and disordered, like a stampede that got stuck mid-stride. The exact process of a liquid turning into glass involves behavior so complex that modern science cannot fully model or predict it. Physicists are still arguing over whether glass should officially be classified as a solid, a liquid, or something entirely unnamed. From the oldest light in the sky to the glass sitting in your kitchen window, human knowledge is surrounded by the unknown. But this ignorance is exactly what drives discovery. The universe isn't hiding these answers out of spite. It is simply older, bigger, and far stranger than the tools we have built to measure it so far. True science is about embracing that mystery. It is about building better machines, turning them on, and quietly waiting in the dark for the next core rule of reality to break.